Ritter, and I am your mayor right now in Vista. I've been on the council for, I've been mayor for 8 years. I've been on the council for 20 years. I ran 3 times as a council member, and then and so I got a lot of experience as that before I became the mayor. So I want to tell you that. And so I come from a business background. I worked for General Motors in Michigan for 10 years at IT and data processing. And then when I came out here, I got interested in jazzercise, being in fitness. And so I was one of the very first instructors to teach jazzercise. And there were 8 of us, and they all needed music. So I told them, I'll buy all your music for you. And so I started doing that. So I had I developed an international music distribution. I bought music for 5,500 instructors, and after 25 years I was working. They were all around the world. I sent like 200 sets to Japan, I sent to the Mideast, I sent to Europe, so it was kind of an interesting business. I started it just for an idea. You guys want me to buy your music? If you pay me $5 a month, I'll buy your 8 of your music. And it went from there to 200 to 1,000 to, just kind of grew. So that was a fun thing that I did. I also taught classes. I taught 10 classes a week. And then I also bought a fitness club, the Courthouse Fitness Club, which is in Vista, kind of over by Vaughn's and back in there. And so I owned that for 8 years. I did all of those things, and then I got elected. And then I thought in the middle of the night when I got elected, what have I done? Because I have 3 jobs already, and now I have a new one. So I sold off the jazzercise stuff and just did the city job for a while. In my council history, I served on North County Transit District for 8 years. I was the chair for 2 times. I served on Encina for the last 16 years. Encina is a wastewater plant. Flush your toilet, goes all the way to Carlsbad, and they treat it there. They sterilize everything. Someday you'll hear toilet to tap or tap to toilet or whatever. So you'll be drinking that water. It's absolutely pure. It goes out the outfall into the ocean, and it's a very pure water. But people mentally don't like to think of that right now yet. It's not there yet. We aren't that bad in water shortage yet to people think about it. And then we also heat dry the biosolids, and we sell them for fertilizer, to come to fertilizer. So that's that. I served on SANDAG, the San Diego Association of Governments, which is all the 16 cities, the 18 cities actually, and the Department of Defense, the Water Authority, Airport Authority. We all serve together, and we plan the transportation, trains, buses, and highways, and we plan all those transportation things. I've done that for the last 20 years also. So I've had a lot of experience to know before, and I did all of that for all the years before I became the mayor. So I had the experience coming on as a mayor to be familiar with all that. When I first came to Vista, when I first ran, I wanted to make Vista a destination city. Nobody knew where downtown was. And so now I think everybody knows where downtown was, but I had no idea that the answer would be the microbreweries. And so now we are number 1 in the state, the most microbreweries per capita, Vista is, in the whole state. So we have microbreweries and lots of new restaurants and lots of new business, which is exciting. And so we bring people in from all over for those, and for our Moonlight Amphitheater. People come from Orange County, they come from all over to our downtown, which everybody knows where downtown is now. So in the future, we have a lot of challenges coming in the future. We need strong experienced person to be the mayor, and so it's not an entry-level job. Usually a person from the council will be in the council for a while and then run, because then they're familiar with what goes on with the city. And also the budget, we have to be physically, make sure that we have the reserves and all of that. We have to be responsible for all of that. I just want to move the city forward in a planned area and planned way. We have a general plan that we follow. It's 10 years old. We have to tweak it sometimes to make it, because after 10 years things have changed, like in your life, and everything changes. So now we have, coming up in Norm Reeves, a Honda dealership that's under construction downtown. It's like where the old entertainment center was. We just broke ground today on 100 Main Street, which is a five-story, it's like 2 levels underground and 5-story building. It'll be retail down below, and then a pool on the 2nd floor, and then apartments up above. And we just broke ground. You'll see construction going on downtown, and that starting tomorrow, actually.
I'll have to stop you.
Okay.
Is there any questions or concerns?
Anything?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there's been constructions when you're raising canes.
Yeah.
And how hard was it, or was it a simple process to get that from here?
It was a hard process. When I talked about our general plan, because our general plan didn't allow any drive-throughs downtown in that area, so we had to change the general plan. Some people don't like it when they say, we have a general plan, you shouldn't change it. But I think over 10 years, sometimes if something doesn't go on in a place, maybe you need to look at why nothing's building there or coming there. And so we changed it, and so it'll open in July. So we're excited about that. So yeah, that's good. You're not the one that drives all the way up after football, are you? There's somebody came to our council meeting, and he drives after the football games. He drives up to Orange County to Raising Cane's. So he was so excited to get Raising Cane's here. Anybody else have questions? Anything? Yeah.
The parking structure, oh, sorry.
Oh,
I go first.
okay.
Like the parking structure that's being built, is it free of charge or?
No parking structure. What?
The one in downtown Vista?
There's not a parking structure. You're talking about the building that I was just talking about?
Yeah, the building.
It's the 2 levels of parking underneath, and that it's for the apartments and the retail, and then it'll be for the parking will be for the apartments and the retail, and then 4 stories above the retail, 4 stories of apartments, and on the first floor is retail, second floor there'll be a pool and a barbecue, and then some apartments, and then the other floors will be just apartments.
You're talking about Santa Fe right now?
No, we're talking about Main Street, right downtown.
Main Street,
The
okay.
dirt lot that's all fenced off, and they'll start tomorrow digging on that, they said.
Yeah.
They gotta go down 2 stories, they gotta go way down, so it'll be interesting, so. Yeah, your question.
Okay, I have 2. The one, I love all the growth that Vista has done. However, the thing that's made Vista so wonderful is we have this beautiful agricultural history.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid with all the building that we're doing, which is primarily apartments, that we're losing any open land. I've been doing a lot of reading on bioregenerative farming, and they're always talking about having some open space that's left for, just fallow land with whatever trees are on it, and not be, because that's necessary as far as
Yeah.
this whole cycle with
Clean
bees
the
and
air
everything.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that? I mean, do you set aside, or are you thinking of developing everything?
We have, the properties we had, the redevelopment properties, we had bought properties that we were gonna do some things with. And the state, when they took away redevelopment, we had to sell off those properties. And so, the stuff that's on there is, the stuff that they're building right now, it's privately owned, it isn't city owned.
Mm.
And so, matter of fact, I wanted to buy.
Do we have any open city land that's not looking at being developed?
We don't, but I keep looking and I keep saying, because this year we put our emergency fund up to 30%, our emergency reserves. But instead, maybe next year, our goal is 35, but some of that I think we need to put into buying some land. I'd like to see a place for a soccer arena, which takes a big area, or
gardens for families.
Well, you know what? The new park we have is coming into town on Civic Center. It's like right there. That's Palo Vista Park.
Yeah.
It'll be a different name probably, but that park is. We're thinking about having a garden in that park. We're looking at maybe a community garden in that area. So yeah, but yeah, green space. Other thing we were talking about is like the dog parks. People are lately wanting dog parks, and so we're looking at like Sycamore Creek is a huge mobile home park that they're getting ready to build on, but they have to have a detention basin in there. And so we're thinking, well, could the detention basin, which would collect water for rains,
Right.
but maybe could it be a dog park? Because somehow we let dogs be in the detention basin. Would that be? Although then some people, we tried to do a dog park above Williamson Park, and they didn't want it because they said it would flow, the dog stuff would flow to the ocean. And so I'm thinking, in a detention basin, it might be the same issue. They might say, well, we have dog matter in there, and that would flow to the ocean eventually. I don't know if that's a problem. Every time you think you can solve something, something comes up. So, but I'm with you. I think we should have more open space and more parks.
Yeah.
I keep looking, even pocket parks, even some lots that aren't selling, just, keep them there, make them green, and maybe a little top lot or something, so.
And then the other thing is, well, I got 2. I mean, I could, after these guys leave, I'll ask you. The initiative that's going to be on the ballot in November for
Yeah.
legal sale of marijuana.
You want 11 dispensaries in your city?
Actually, I do.
In multifamily housing? It'll be right
Well,
next door?
I believe it has to be controlled somewhere, but, to turn away from an income stream, when we sell alcohol and we sell cigarettes and we sell caffeine, and all of those are considered, some sort of a drug.
But at least they can check if it's under DUI. Right now, when people are driving under the influence of cannabis, they don't know how much, they don't know. They can't
Right,
tell
but,
that.
okay.
And plus, right now, because it's only
So then
funded.
I'm gathering you're opposed.
No, I know I'm not definitely totally opposed. I think there needs a medical. I think we need a couple of medical. I mean, there's a lot of people came to us and talked. I thought they were gonna be stoners that came in to talk to
No,
us.
yeah.
They use tinctures and seizures, and there's a lot of needs for cannabis, and some of it doesn't even make you high, some of it's just there. But so I think there's a need for medical, but right now, the kids can get a card online, and I don't wanna see the kids. I think there's too much for kids right
You know
now.
what? My father was killed by a drunk driver. So it's like, come on, let's get real. How many homes are ruined by alcohol
I agree.
every year?
So why would you want-
But we sell that
But so why do you wanna make it worse and have cannabis?
because there's the documentation doesn't prove that it would make it that foreseeably worse. And I think that the benefit of having an income stream, as long as it's used for the public good, recreation parks, something like that, is something to consider.
Because right
People
now
are
they're.
always gonna get high.
Right, well, right now well, I hate that thought, but, you know,
It's not gonna stop, it's been that way since
We
the
just
beginning of
closed,
time.
they're illegal. Dispensaries right now, they're illegal in Vista, and so we closed them, and so we just closed.
Right, I know.
And I went to the one that we just closed, and in it was Hello Kitty gum, there was gummies, there was chocolate chip cookies, there was peanut butter cookies,
Right,
there were
edibles.
chocolate bars, there were things, like, there was a snack, they put hot sauce on, I mean, it was like stuff that, for kids, you know, it was like, it was aimed at kids, it
Well,
wasn't.
no, it's just a different way to consume it.
Well, if my little granddaughter was 6,
But do
found
you think
it,
your little 10-year-old granddaughter is gonna be able to walk in there and buy something?
you think she found it on the Hello Kitty thing on the counter, she wouldn't eat it?
All those places are controlled as far as who comes in and comes out, so, I mean, I just think it's, for people who are so against it, it's like, hello, people have been doing this
Well, I'm not so
forever.
against it, but I think that, yeah, and you can have 6 plants.
Huh?
You can have six or 8. 6,
Six.
yeah. You can have 6 plants in your yard, so I think that's fine. You can have it delivered to your house. So I worked really hard to make this, to have a good image and to have a nice downtown that people.
But do you think Colorado has bad image now, since they've made it legal? I mean,
I
how many
do. I
states
think
now?
when I read the stuff
What,
that.
there's 12 states right now with legal marijuana sales now.
I know. I know when it's legal in California, but it's still illegal nationally, so.
Yeah.
I get
So-
you, and I get it.
So what happens if it passes? What are you gonna do then?
I'm gonna have to stop you guys.
That will be, if it passes, we may put one on to opposite, you know, that, so
Yeah.
that might be, but maybe with 2 dispensaries
Yeah.
instead of 10. I don't think we need, it would have to be 11, it's 1 per 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Do you have another question?
Yes,
You
Sorry.
can stay for the next session if you would like, as well as yourself if you
Yeah.
would like to stay for the
Really
next
quick.
section.
if nobody's coming in, you
Since
can,
Vista's becoming like a destination city, I would assume rent would go up. So what would you do to protect the families that are currently here? Or will they be forced to move out because it's like the rent is going up?
I don't know that all rent will go up. We still have some affordable housing, and I don't know that all rent will go up. It just probably maybe the new apartments, there'll be market rate, whatever market rate is. It'll go, it kind of goes with the, I mean, you know, it's like all over the county that the rents have gone up, but I don't know that all of ours have.
Like if it will affect, like if the whole downtown will affect it?
It shouldn't affect the rents in other places, I mean, you know, the rest of the city, I wouldn't think. It might be higher in the downtown, but it might not be higher outside the downtown.
Is there anything you can do to prevent that?
No, we don't do rent control in our city. Because then you don't have people who want to come in and build anything.